Hey.
Ask me again. Ask me in
Okay.
front of our people.
So, did you watch any of The Summer I Turned Pretty?
No. And
Did you try to?
I did 3 times.
What
Thrice.
time?
Uh,
Thrice?
3 times I tried, and all 3 times I fell asleep. And
My
one time I
God.
was on call, woke up at like 1:15 in the morning, and I was like rejuvenated. I got out of bed and I said, I'm gonna watch The
That's
Summer I
the
Turned
best
Pretty.
sleep you've ever had.
Pretty. The Summer I Turned Pretty. I go downstairs, I'm like,
You ready to
right?
go?
I wrap myself up in a blanket. I begin to listen to the voices because I think it was like voices first. Instantly, I can't even tell you what the opening scene was that
Well,
night.
to be fair, the opening scene is literally like it's like literally the ocean. It's like this twinkly like doo doo
That's what
doo
I
doo
thought.
sound,
Yeah.
and you're like, it's very like
Put me right back to sleep. And I
right back
tried it
to
a
bed.
few times. And my gripe with it is that I'm not coming of age anymore, you know?
You're not, and you knew this coming in.
And I
You
knew
knew
this
this
coming
coming
in.
in.
And it just makes me feel like I'm watching, I don't know, like I just
Like
feel like
kids at
it's
a high school
not,
party.
it just
That's the
is
thing.
giving like a Hannah Montana undertone to me. You
Like, I
know, like,
understand what you're saying, but also, like, I think sometimes with these shows, you have to start them a little bit earlier on to get on the bus because every year makes a difference, you know? I
yes.
will say you can romanticize it. I think because I looped it back because I finished it, but it's been so long since I've started the series that I
So when
forgot
did
what
this
happened in the beginning.
start? When did this start?
I can't trust my memory, so let me ask the internet.
It's a book, right? First it was
Yes,
a book. I have the book. I went
it
to
found
a
you.
summer I turned 70 birthday party, which I thought was adorable. I thought it was so
Adorable.
cute. I didn't need to know any context about the show or the book to know that it was a cute theme for a party. And then I won the book. So I do plan on reading the book at least because I feel as though I could probably connect to it more on a literary
Of
wavelength.
course. So the show itself, the first season came out in 2022,
Oh my gosh.
but
We
the
were different
books
people then. That
exactly.
was a
Well, that's what I
hundred
was
years ago.
that was literally 95 years ago. So we were different people. So it was
Yes.
easier to get in. We were kind of still like creeping out of COVID. So you're like,
We were just born.
what
We were
about
just born from
a nice beach
COVID.
series? And also it does have that like anything that feels a little local I'll connect to, and it's supposed to be
Yeah.
like a Cape Coddy summer kind of
Everything
thing,
is right now. It's very, Cape Cod is very
nautical.
on brand, you know, if you've
So
seen The
I
Handmaid's Tale.
it's just like a mix between
It's a
that
hot
and The Summer
spot.
I Turned Pretty. That's where New England is. And so yeah, I came into it early. So when I went back and tried putting on the first few episodes, it is a little bit like you're like, I don't know, but I feel like the beginning of series are always kind of that way. When
Yeah.
you get to like the third season and you're like at Conrad and Perry, like you're a different person then. So, given the fact that you've never watched a full episode, what is your impression of Belly, Jeremiah, Conrad? What do you think The Summer I Turned Pretty is if the way you've made it up in your head?
I don't know the difference between the two boys, but I
So,
do know that Belly is the girl, right?
Belly's the girl.
Yes, and she obviously was not the cutest growing up, right? And then all of a sudden she's hot.
All of a
That's the
sudden
whole
she's hot.
premise, right? And then her friends were like, "Oh my God, we never thought you'd be hot."
They like
And then
you
everybody's
took off
like,
your glasses.
and and everybody's like, "We sort of always loved you, even when you weren't hot, right?"
So this is Jeremiah, okay?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's brother
Okay.
one.
I've seen him. They're brothers. I
They're
didn't even know they
brothers.
were brothers. I was assuming they were all neighbors in this Cape Cod town. You know,
So
like they
they are
lived on a
brothers.
quiet street.
This is Conrad Fisher.
I like him better.
Who do you think I like?
Probably the other one.
No, come on now. I'm not a Jeremiah girl. Good Lord. You should know that by our TikTok algorithm.
Well, I
So
don't know. Our TikTok algorithm is
it's
questionable
messy.
lately.
It's messy. So the quick
I
of
know
it
nothing
all
from it.
is that
Yeah,
Belly,
give me
they're
like
like,
a quick rundown.
so the moms are besties, right? Belly's
Okay.
mom and the boy's mom's best girlfriends, soulmates,
Yeah.
and they spend every summer together in Cousins, which is the on the Cape. So like since this little girl like was 10 years old, she has been in love with Conrad Fisher, like
Yes.
in love. And
But
then
she
she
was
comes
too ugly for
she was
anyone to
too
notice she
ugly.
was
She was just a girl.
wonderful.
She was just that friend. She was like little sister, to
Yeah.
him. And then Jeremiah is like super flirty boy, and Conrad is kind of like mysterious sweet boy, And
I'd probably end up with Jeremiah.
somehow, some way, but God willing, no. God willing, you end up with Conrad. And so
Yeah.
she's in love with him forever. And then one summer she turns pretty. But this is the summer that their
So hot
mom
all of a
has
sudden.
cancer coming back. Okay. So there's a lot of trauma
I
happening
was
in the
gonna
family.
say it has a vibe
I'll show you the
of
moms.
The Fault in Our Stars. Like that's what it reminds me of. Like you
And
can
then it has the
tell
brother sister,
someone's
the
terminal.
brother love triangle of like Vampire Diaries. So it's Laurel and Susanna. So
She's
they are
with them both.
endgame, right? So she's in love. She's in love with Conrad.
Those are
but like
the moms?
those are the moms. They're hot.
See, we're too fucking old for this shit,
No,
Stephanie.
because now we relate to the moms. Now our
I'm
love story is
into-
Susanna.
I'm mostly into Conrad's mom.
Susanna and Laurel. We're there for them, okay? There's so much into it, but so
They have a
Conrad
love
starts
story
to
too?
notice Belly. No, they're just like they're like soulmates,
Oh.
Like
Oh.
there's men involved, but like they are the love story for them. Those
Okay.
two, like they're just besties.
All
But
right.
Conrad's kind of this hot cold with Belly, and Jeremiah is just like very flirty, but like I love you, Belly. And so there's this like she's with Conrad for a minute, and then it ends, and she's with Jeremiah for 4 years. And then all of a sudden, Conrad's a doctor, and he's hot and mysterious, and he's loved Belly the whole time.
What is
And now
Belly's real name?
Isabella.
I get it. I
So
get that she
then
was so ugly.
she goes
that
to
we had
Paris.
give her a weird
She goes
name.
to Paris because the wedding is off. She's going to marry Jeremiah, but she can't because she still loves Conrad and he loves her. So you know what she needs to do, Lauren?
What does she need to
gonna tell you
do?
the whole thing. She needs to go to Paris, right, to get over it.
Okay.
Controversial moment, and I want your
This
take
is
on it
so
before me.
young and restless, like
So ready?
if you were a daytime drama girly.
She
So then
goes
what
to
happens?
Paris.
She's in Paris.
She goes to Paris. She like smokes a little weed and like sleeps with a Spanish boy. Like she's just like getting over herself and like being
Wow.
alone for the first time in her life. She gets a bob, okay? She gets a bob.
A bomb shelter Bob.
Very controversial. Before I tell you my stance, I want you to you know what she looks like regular with the long hair?
Yes.
This is Paris.
Oh, I love that for her.
Love it. Okay, is this
Yeah.
not an easy love? Like she looks so mature, like chic, confident, like obsessed. A
love
lot
that.
of people
Honestly,
hate the Bob.
people are
Hate it.
annoying.
I hate
People have people have such big opinions about bullshit, honestly.
That no one asked them for.
And I love having big opinions on bullshit personally. But I feel as though when people have such a weigh in on people's haircuts, I'm like, that literally is just temporary. Like
Literally,
she's just trying it out.
It's actually just
But
hair.
I quite literally look like Willie Nelson again. Willie Nelson and
look.
and Sacagawea's love child.
It's a look.
And I have been toying with the idea of a bob, okay? And that only makes me
Always.
want one more.
That was the thing. When I saw Belly with the short hair, I was like, I've been on this journey of like growing my hair out because I cut it you know me, I cut it all the time and then I let it grow. So I'm just in a growing period. But once I saw Belly in Paris, I was like, so she breaks up with Jeremiah. She runs away to Paris for like a few years. Then all of a sudden, Conrad shows up in Paris and he's like, I just want to spend some time with you. You know what happens. There's all of this like push
what kind
and
of
pull,
doctor is
push
Conrad?
and pull. I don't know, a hot one. And they go back and forth a little bit, right? He's doing things, okay? He's medical. And and there's like this very big like you know how when you watch a show like this that's trendy, like people are like, please put them together. Like everyone's like, please. And a lot of the time, like on purpose, they like don't give you that.
Yes.
They fed us. Like the way that they gave us everything that we wanted and then they threw it to like Taylor Swift's hottest song, Dress. which if you
Ooh.
know, you know.
I
And
know
it's like,
that song.
I recommend, honestly, Lauren, now that you know the whole backstory, I think all I want you to do is watch the finale because that's
Just
all
watch
you
them
need.
sex each other in Paris.
Watch the whole finale and then come and just tell us about that because you know enough
Okay.
of that. And I think, like, I want to hear your
And I
feedback.
can't watch the shore come in, you know,
You can't. The
one more
tide needs to
time.
be out. The tide needs to be out.
Literally, like every time I start to watch that opening scene, I'm like, someone has cancer. This is about little kids, and I can't, you know?
But honestly, it's so fucking good for
But
no
if I can watch
reason.
them sex in Paris to a Taylor Swift song, then maybe. And
Just
get
get back to
everything that
me.
you feel like I need to.
If anything were to get you into the series, it would be that episode.
My
So
biggest question is this all off of this one book, or is this like a
multiple
series?
books.
Okay, I didn't
Multiple
know because
books.
I won the book in music bingo.
You
You know,
did.
I
Yeah, the
did.
summer I turned 70.
Yes, so
I'm
I'm like, I don't
obsessed with
even
that little book
know.
gift. That's such a cute idea.
Yes, and it did make me want to read it more, but I also am like I said, I just can't get past that intro scene. So perhaps I'll watch the last episode. And honestly, I owe you that. I owe
You
you
do.
that
You
because
do.
you spoke to my love language. You listened to what I said and you acted on it.
I have been planning on acting on it for a while. I just
I'm here to talk about something
God.
for the
She's like letting me
YouTubers.
get a couple words in because once she gets going on this, it's gonna be hard. But before, so Lauren saw something this weekend, and
Saw
whilst I
something.
knew that this something has meant very much to her, and I have been wanting to watch it, and I have been knowing that I would enjoy it, I finally watched it.
Part of me just thought it was like your bit that you weren't gonna watch it. You were like,
It was. It was a bit. For a long time, it was the fun of it. And a long time, I just
me.
said, she wants me to watch this so bad. I'll do it once I have my like recovery fall, you know, and I'm couch stuff. But I was like, not a minute sooner. But then once you were going, I was like, oh, you know what? I really should. And then you asked me. She asked me again off the podcast. I was like,
Like,
ooh, she really wants me.
please watch it,
And then
even a
at that
little
point, I
bit.
felt a little bad, so I was like, "No, I'll watch it." So I watched it.
Well, because I was like, we're gonna do a pod episode with my hyperverbal ass on
Yes.
my hyper fixation, you
If
know.
I
So
want to
like,
keep up or at least get a licking.
know something. I'm like, if you could just Google Lin Manuel.
Before you go off, can I say, are we not talking about how Alexander Hamilton is such a fuckboy? Like, why is no one talking about this?
So, so as Thomas Jefferson said, you ain't gonna be president, never gonna be president now. So he was such a fuckboy, but he so owned it in a way
He
that
did.
if he was outside of a 7-Eleven
With the same braids as you.
just writing me something with the same little bow wow braids as me, I would be into
And also,
it.
I
I'd
didn't
be a little into
understand
it.
the people coming back as other people. I know you had warned me and it came back very
Yes.
quick.
Yes.
A jump scare.
So,
A jump scare.
because Lawrence is the hottest character.
And then all of a sudden he's
so
a child.
hot.
I'm like, what are you doing?
So hot for Lawrence,
But
you
so
know.
is the French one. When he's
Lafayette.
French. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're when he's French.
But I need to watch again because obviously, like, it's a lot to take in, and I took away a lot from it. And I think hearing you talk about it, I'll even take in more about it because you've seen it so many times, and now you've seen it in real life. But like, I now at least have like an appreciation and a love for it. Like, I knew I was gonna love it. I've already heard music and loved the music I've heard, and I love it so much. I love the way they mix different kinds of music together and how like things are very historical but very progressive. It's very cool. So I'm excited to hear you go the fuck off about it.
I
Unleash the
love-
Lauren.
I love this musical. Like, I love Hamilton. And like
do.
me and my husband watched it for the first time. I watched it for the first time in
When was it?
2015.
Okay.
No, I didn't watch it in 2015 because that's when it was on Broadway. But of course, like, you know, you watch some bootleg footage when you're a theater person and, you know, you find the best YouTube video that you're like, you shouldn't have made this video, but thank you.
Thank
You know?
you. But you bookmark it.
Yes. And then I think the year of COVID, right? The year that theater was murdered.
It found you back.
Well, it became a special on Disney Plus.
Huh?
That's, I think, I don't know. Don't fact check me, but I'm pretty
Somewhere
sure
in the
that's
dark
when.
ages.
And it is very rare that a musical is filmed in such a beautiful way, you know, that you can just watch it like a movie.
Yeah.
The way that Disney Plus brought it to us
Which
during
is
a
why I
global
feel like I wasn't
pandemic.
as exposed to the theater. Because if like your parents aren't taking you or like your family, like how are you seeing it? You're not.
You
And
can't.
in that time, you just
You're
weren't
like,
seeing it.
somebody owns the rights to it, so we
You
can't
might
film
love
it.
it, but you've never been shown it, you know?
They're like, we can't even sell you videos of your kid doing it. And you're like, what?
Exactly.
They're like, that costs extra.
You're like, but
what?
I paid them to be here. Can I see my kid do Nemo?
So I think it was 2020 when we watched it, me and my husband, and he was like, this is amazing. Well, fast forward to, I think, 20, I don't know, something. Time is 100 years ago, 5
There
years
was a
ago, it's all the same. But there was
reemergence
a
when
recent
Lennon became
reemergence
involved.
this past winter where we said, let's watch Hamilton.
Yes.
My kid watched it once, and she was obsessed. And like you said, like if they taught history this way, I would know so much more about history.
I would know history. My husband, so he started watching it with me and he's very into it. And Luke is not like a theatrical boy. Like that's not his wheelhouse. And he's not caught up with me because I had to go fast paced to catch up for today.
Yes.
But he's watched, I'd say, like probably 45 minutes of it. And he's like, I am genuinely into this. He's like, this is so interesting, and I think the style of the music and the people just appeals to him too. So I'm like, don't you think how many more people would have not only understood history more, but like been more interested in musicals or in theater if they weren't all geared towards a specific type of person previously?
Yes. And that's the thing about Hamilton is that it brings so many like levels together that it resonates with so many people of different walks of life. And going to see it live, that was so represented in the room. Like there was such a diverse crowd there. There were elderly, the elderly, there were children, there was every race, there was different languages. Like it was a very diverse crowd. And you could feel it in the room. There was no undertones of violence. None.
Not a single one.
It was a very obvious crowd that was there, that was being represented.
Love.
And it just felt warm and inviting, and like it's a historical topic. And the reason that Lin-Manuel wrote the play is he read the biography Hamilton, and he was like, this man has lived, he was just on a podcast, I can't think of what it's called, but he said like this man lived like 3 lives in one lifetime, in one short lifetime. He did so much, and like during that time he was such a voice, but he was also so articulate and so documented. Like that's really the thing about Alexander Hamilton. Like he wrote everything down.
Right, he's a writer.
Like he literally threw at Aaron Burr. He was like, here's all the times that me and you had a fucking disagreement because I have logs of it, bitch.
Yeah.
Like he was the first one to have read receipts.
For sure. For sure.
Like Thomas Jefferson was all willy-nilly, and he was like, blah, blah, blah. He was like...
And he was like, I got the receipt.
Fucking people in France, and Alexander Hamilton was writing every fucking thing down. And he was the only
every time he was like banging someone's wife, he was like, receipt.
And he was willing to blow up his own shit, but he was like, I have the date, so your date, like you make no sense.
He's not deceitful, even if he can be like morally gray sometimes with his decisions. He's not deceitful at all.
No. And they say it at the end of the play that he's like every founding father got a story, but like Alexander Hamilton died young, and therefore he's kind of left out of the history books. You know, we
How
hear
old was
about it.
he? I can Google
He
it.
was in his, I think his 40s or 30s. He was maybe 40s. His son, Philip, died first in a duel, and then he died
Right.
in a duel. And it's just like, it's such an interesting story. It's so well told. Lin-Manuel is genius. And when my daughter became obsessed with it, like, obviously we've grown these humans to this point. Did you figure out how old he was when he
47
died?
or 49.
All right, yeah. Which, I mean, I feel like was probably a decent age for
For
then,
that,
but
yes, but still.
he was only getting started,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. He had things to say.
He was putting the banks together. And so I feel like when she became obsessed with it, we're really not in charge of these tiny people's destiny anymore, you
For
know?
their
Like
interests. Like, you
we've
can show them
definitely
things.
I'm learning a lot about Sailor Moon right now, you know? Like
And you didn't ask for that.
and I didn't ask for that. But when they take to something that you showed them, it's just like it's very special. And Lennon
You want to
is
encourage them.
she's not shy about the fact that she loves the theater, you know.
Yes.
Neither of our girls are.
No.
They're theater
Some would
girlies.
say they have main character energy.
They do. And she was very, very vocal about the fact that once she saw Wicked in theaters and then was like, we need to see Wicked, like on Broadway, she
Mhm.
just now craves to see shows. And
Well,
we've
there's such a
definitely,
feeling with seeing a live anything, you know?
the thing, and I feel like when they're this like coming of age, like not the summer I turned pretty coming of age, but
No.
like this like tween coming of age,
Yeah, where they're,
you're
like,
like, do we
finding
go to
what
a
they like
concert? Do we
and what
go
they
to, you know?
yes, which is such a fun time, like, as a parent because you're, like, there to explore it with them, and sometimes it's something that you've done before, and sometimes it's not, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like we're like stepping out of like this frozen on ice era and we're
Yeah.
like moving into something bigger, and obviously where she wants to go is the theater. So we
It's, like,
surprised her with
bigger,
tickets.
and it's, like, smaller at the same time because it's
Yeah.
honing in on them.
Yes, yeah. And we surprised her with tickets for her birthday. And there have been, you know, obviously Hamilton was on the Tonys. Hamilton is celebrating their 10-year. I've got the merch to prove
She's got the
it.
merch.
You know, and there has just been more buzz around Hamilton. So, like, we secured these tickets. We've had them for so long.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
so excited. And the first thing she said to me is, she's like, we are dressing up. And now this is a 2 o'clock matinee, you know,
There's
in
2
our
kinds of
city,
people.
in Boston. It's the touring Broadway Hamilton show. That was the first thing. She's like, you're not bringing me to actual Broadway. And I was like, well, then, you know, like, she's like, Leslie Odom Jr. is on Broadway right now. I'm like,
You're
I
like, "But
know.
they're fine, I guess."
I'm gonna have a fucking crystal ball.
I'm done. I'm
That
done.
happened days later.
You can't. Stop, and it was announced afterwards? Of course.
There's been two very big near misses in my life. That was one. And the other was that I went and saw Noah Kahn the day before he brought out Hosier
Oh my
in
god,
the
yeah.
Tennessee stage.
A
The
near
day
miss.
before. Two near misses. It's okay. We almost landed. We still soared amongst the stars.
Absolutely, and one day we'll
So,
crash into one.
but I loved that because I'm like so humbling, you know, like she truly deserves nothing but the best. So I'm like, I'll do better next time, you know. When Lin Manuel does his run back on Broadway,
Takes
I'll
note.
surely
I'll
secure the
sell the
front.
house.
I'm like, we're going to the fucking opera house. We're sitting center mezzanine, you know, and it was, you know, not a grand, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. It
I
was a
thought it was a
treat.
win. I thought it was a win.
A
But
win's a win.
so the first thing she says is we're dressing up. And I mean, the theater, like, there is like, I feel as though there's just an array of the way that people dress, like a concert. Like, some people
Yes.
go all out, dress very nice. Other people dress more casual.
Some
And
people dress like the performer.
some people dress like the performer. But my husband looked at me and he said, do people do that? And I said, not really.
Not you're like,
Like, not at a matinee.
yeah. You're like,
So
"But we are."
he's like, they don't? And I'm like, no. but we are not raising some people, you know, like
We are
we
not.
are raising a main character.
She's going to look back at that day that she went to Hamilton on Broadway in Boston. And she's going to see herself in her Skylar sister gown and be like,
Yes.
that was a moment, you know?
And she is a Skylar sister, okay? She's not Angelica. She'd never be
No.
that slore. I'm Angelica, which I feel
Why
like
was I
Angelica.
into Angelica, though?
She's my
She's
Angelica.
So cool.
Angelica live. I cried every fucking
I don't
time.
even
You know
want to
that
be Eliza. And not that I have any beef with her. I just like I love her more, you know?
So, you know the song Satisfied where she's doing the speech and everything goes
and it
in
pauses
reverse
and goes backwards.
and the lighting and that's what
Mind
I told
blown.
you. Like that's my favorite scene, period. And
It was
when
so
I watched
entrancing.
that, when you watched that live and you watched how they like literally, and it was one of Lennon's favorite parts too, which is like it just like hits me right in the soul that she's that deep of a person, that she's not just like, I liked when they sang. She's like, I liked when they were like had the chairs upside down in slow
It's like
motion
the
as she was
tickling
reversing.
of that little thing in your brain where it's like, that was fucking cool. When I saw Frozen on Broadway, they have a moment where everybody turns into stone when Anna gets turned into stone and like all these people become the formation. And
Yes.
it's so clean and you're just like, it's one of those moments where you're like, this is what makes it stand apart from like anything else, you know?
Yeah, and you're
as
like,
far
and
as
this is
live theater.
and you're like, I want to see this again and again because it's like this moment that you can't grasp on
You can't
screen
recreate
and you
it.
can't really,
Exactly.
I feel like you can't feel it the same way. But we were just like, we were so entranced. And yes, we are dressed as the Schuyler sisters. You know, we have on colonial garb. And I'm like, we're going for this. And Lennon is just like, she's so aware. At 8 years old, she's very aware of her moments. Like she's very aware like that this is a big deal. And I don't know that I was. I think I had terrible ADHD.
Yeah.
And I think I still have trouble like being in that moment. You know, I
Yeah,
have trouble
Letton is
taking it
very
in.
comfortable showing her excitement. Nora picks up on that on her. She's like, Lennon is so like happy and like, you know, it comes out of her body when she's excited. She's very comfortable with the feeling.
And she's just feeling it, like she's feeling the moment fully. And she walked into that theater and she lit up. And she was like, she looked at me and she was like, Mom, this is the most beautiful place I've ever been. And I just started crying. And then she just started doing like that Lennon bounce thing that only Lennon does. In
she
a
hops in,
Tigger-esque
she
way.
hops out. She's just
And as we're walking through the crowd, she just has like her head held high. And you know, like there's other like young girls dressed very nicely and we're smiling at them all, and she has on the satchel bag you gave her, and I got her a pin that says just you wait, and she's like, you know, and people are complimenting her outfit, and she's feeling it. She's on the edge of
the moment.
Oh my goodness. She goes, I'd like to go stand near those marble stairs. So I'm like, okay. You're right.
As you should.
Which once again, like I will nervously stand in a crowd, you know, because like
yes,
I
dressed in full
colonial garb because I don't even know what to do with myself. I'm overstimulated.
I can have a
smell,
moment.
like I can smell so many smells, and like
it'd be easier just to put on a cute skirt, you know, and a sweater and call it a day.
And my husband's getting water and I'm like locked up. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, she's like, let's go stand near that marble staircase. So I'm like, you're right.
Survey the lands.
Then she just starts posing on it. I'm like, this is the moment. And she's like, Angelica, Liza. Like literally she's just so loud and she's feeling it. And I'm like, you know what? Like when I birthed this child, I feel like I called myself on my shit. And I was like, Lauren, you're going to be 100% you so that she'll be 100% her. So I'm like, literally, I'm just near her. I'm like, and Peggy, you know, like,
which like I now see how Lasky could so easily fall into the Peggy role now that I know, you know.
She's a born Peggy.
She is.
Not pictured Peggy, you know, for the second act.
No, Peggy had to take a nap. Peggy had to go stay with Nanny for the weekend.
Peggy just went home to Daddy. They were
Yeah.
like, they were like, Daddy doesn't
Yeah.
have to know.
Where'd Peggy go? They were just like, okay, there's
She probably
Peggy.
told on herself, and he was like, I can't marry you off. How am I going to marry off Peggy? We don't know what
Peggy
happened to
was
her.
a lot and also nothing, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure there's more to her story, but it's probably less.
One day they'll come out with the story of Peggy.
But we're standing on those stairs, and I was thinking to myself, like, I would never, like little me would feel so weird. You know, she would have still been standing in the crowd, just
Mhm.
waiting for that water. And the fact that my daughter has this confidence and that I am able to exude this confidence that is obviously contagious to her to some degree. Like,
Yes.
you have to nurture that, you know, and you have to let
Yeah.
that grow.
You
So
can't dull their flame. Like you have to give it, you have to help it grow. So it kind of
yeah.
inevitably pushes you to grow because you're like, I need to keep up with this cool kid that I'm supposed to be teaching, but they're kind of teaching me, and it's this weird cycle of like I'm being myself, so they're being themselves, you know.
So
and
we're
kind of-
literally like having this confidence seance, right?
yeah, exactly. And you're
In our matching floral, in our
Yeah.
matching ruffles. And we're just having a good time at the bottom of the stairs. And the little usher lady's kind of like playing into it at this point. And this woman walks up to me and she's like, I just need to tell you that you two are making me smile so much. And I'd like to take a picture for you.
stop.
And she's not who I would have picked to take a
Sure.
picture for me. She's
And that's not her fault.
But she picked us, and I
She
thought
did.
it was so special. So now, you know, she's got the phone up like this. She's got
It
my
might be
phone.
looking at her. Yeah,
And she
she's
goes,
zoomed.
oh,
when they start to
this phone's
zoom.
a little different than my phone. And I'm like, yeah, because you still have the button. I love that for you. And then she's kind of doing this, and I'm like, you know what? And me and Len are just looking at each other, and we're singing, "You'll never be satisfied." Like we're just singing, and and the woman goes, I am just smiling like a fool. I'm the one taking the pictures, and I'm
Honestly,
smiling like a fool.
It was one of those things where you like face it towards your parent and record them. Like that's when you needed that moment.
It was. And then the best part is now she gives me my phone and she goes, now could I take a picture of you guys? And I'm like, absolutely. So now she whips out her phone and she's like, I just can't get over you two. And it was really like, it was that moment where you're like, you smile at the world and the world smiles back, but you also just smile, right? Like you don't have to be doing everything for everyone.
Yes.
You can be selfish in your happiness and it still can exude out and make this safe area for other people to feel happy and feel comfortable.
Joy is contagious.
And it was so contagious in that room. And like every song, and like I told you, like it was the Broadway touring show. So basically what you saw on Disney Plus, I saw live. George Washington, I must say though, he's my honorable mention. I looked him up earlier, but then I was looking up our Captivate numbers because they were way up, right?
Oh my God, they were Skylar sisters.
They were
Skylar to the Skylar
to the moon. All right.
Different podcast.
All right, let me see. It would have been nice if I had this ready to go for you guys, but I don't. So
we're learning, we're growing.
It wasn't him. So there's the original Christopher Jackson. He's who plays George Washington.
Voice.
Lovely voice. It's a baritone. It's a deep, deep
tone. When he hit that, like his music, they weren't my favorite songs, but when he hit one of those end notes where it was like all about him, I was like, oh, that was powerful, George.
Just you and I literally live like had me.
It was beautiful.
I'm so mad that I can't find who he is right now because he deserves the credit. But me and my husband, our hot take was he was better than the original cast, George Washington.
Wow. And he had a beautiful voice.
He did have a beautiful voice, but this man's range and I feel like being in theater, you realize that the lights, the outfits, the mics, what they have you doing while you're singing, the size and the presence of this man, but the delicateness to his movement And the way that he just like jumped up on a chair, like mid song, like it was absolutely, I'm gonna figure it out eventually.
King George.
King George is fucking hilarious.
I did not see it coming, but I was so pleasantly surprised because every time he came in intermittently, and like obviously now I'm having this moment where all of these TikTok sounds are having life, like all of these
Yes.
things that I've heard, like I know him, that all of that. I'm like, oh my God, here it is. But
A.D.
I fucking love
Weaver.
him.
A.D. Weaver, this gentleman right here,
Is current George.
is current George Washington in the touring Broadway. And let me just tell you, an absolute voice and a soul. And then the woman that plays Eliza, Lauren is her name. Never met a Lauren I didn't love. There's some subspecies, we aren't going to claim them all. Evolution's
No.
weird, but most of them,
They have a good track record. This is who,
woman,
Eliza?
this is Eliza. Her range.
Was there anybody that you liked better than the Disney production aside from George?
So it was funny because King George is obviously hilarious, and it's a big
Yes.
role. It's a big role in its own respect. So we really needed that hype to come with the character. We liked him as much. He even did the whole spitting bit because the spitting is iconic.
On the lip,
it's part of the. I guess that
like my
was
chin
a
was
mannerism.
itching when I watched it. I was like, I need to wipe my face 5 times.
You need to watch the Tony performance because it's like disgusting.
Well, now you know what I do when I like something. When I hyperfixate on something, then I start watching all of the interviews. I'll be watching all of that.
Yes.
Like it'll be a thing,
So there was one that we were very surprised because, I'm probably butchering his last name, but Tyler Fauntleroy.
Who did he play?
Is Alexander Hamilton.
Okay.
Now, Alexander Hamilton is iconically Lin-Manuel in my brain.
Of course.
Like I have the merch.
It's like the visual.
Yeah.
Even if you've never seen it, like
Yeah, you've seen that like Temu outline sticker.
Yes. Like
and
you've
definitely seen the Alexander come back to sleep.
Yeah.
Which when that played, like you just had to chuckle internally a little bit.
I had to text you. I did text you. I would be like, what is happening right now?
Isn't the John Adams bit so funny though?
So funny.
John
Adams.
But when we saw him, we said, obviously the biggest thing about Hamilton is that none of these people are typecasted.
Right.
Like these are not what the actual historical figures looked like.
Amen.
Thank God. And it makes the message bigger, and it makes the message so current, because you have these young, diverse voices playing these characters that were going through this similar injustice, but the injustice becomes like you can just copy and paste it anywhere you see
anywhere.
It does not need to be 1789.
A lot of big messages.
It literally makes it feel like it's still 1789. That I'm like, why do I feel so connected to this song that it's
I know, the way they even sing the years in between, like when they're transitioning is so clever. Like I could not have gotten that out of history book. Like I would have never remembered that date, And
that was one thing about watching it live. Like when they say the numbers on screen, you're watching it, but there's stage movement that they're moving the lights to make it look like they're walking around town, and like even just those small movements. But Alexander Hamilton, played by Lin-Manuel, there's a reason that it worked so well with this gentleman, Tyler. He had that, and we were trying to figure out what it is, but it's kind of like this like humble, quiet, good boy undertone of just like, I'm saying what's on my mind. I mean what I say. Like there's this part where he says, he talked to me like I am stupid. I am not stupid.
I'm not stupid. Yes.
And it is just like this humble, like
young, scrappy, and hungry.
He's young, scrappy, and hungry. And this gentleman that played him had that little spark inside of him.
Yeah, they have to have a little bit of like feistiness in them while still being like while still being like warm. Like they can't be cold.
Yes. By being the man that has nothing but words to his name. Like he is
Yes.
truly, he played that role so well. So we were really, really happy. And we just like, we left it. I just kept looking at Lennon the entire time. And then we left it and I just looked at her and she was like, Mom, that literally felt like I was watching it on a screen. Like I have never felt like I've never felt that way. And I was
Because it
like,
hits you in your chest when you see something live that you love. It's like
and I
the
said,
bass, drums, the movement, everything, the lights.
I said, Lennon, thank you. Thank you so much because I have seen that. I have been in those situations. I have been in that theater, but I have never felt so present
Mm-hmm.
at any performance as I did with that kid that day. And it's because she is so bold and she is so big while being so little that like she can bring me to something and truly bring me there from the moment I arrived to the moment I left. I was in it with her. And
I love that so much.
I want to say that it would matter what we saw because that is truly our favorite, but I
Of
know
course.
that it will be a thing that will roll on from it because my daughter left that theater. First, she was like, I'm going to be Eliza Hamilton on Broadway when I grow up. And I was like, and then she's like, and a cake decorator. And I was like, I love.
Nora's always throwing in like, Great Wolf Lodge balloon artist on the side.
I was like, honestly, as long as you're not the touring show and you're the New York show, you could probably run a successful bakery day. Like, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out,
Mom will run it.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I'll serve your macaroons during the day. But
like she not giving away her shot.
Right. She felt very inspired. And as we went back to our colonial themed hotel in our colonial garb.
Yeah, you went all in. You said
to have dinner in a steampunk colonial restaurant with like this
Did you keep
cool
the
ass
fits on for
cannon.
din?
Absolutely.
Love.
And our
Commitment to the
bit. Our waiter loved it. He was like, I love a bit. And I was like,
and who
don't we
doesn't?
all?
Like,
and that's the thing is that like as you grow older, you realize that like the lame shit that you thought was lame is like the only reason that you're still existing in your mid-30s. You're like,
it's the coolest. Literally, like, don't be afraid to be lame or to be obsessed with something or to fan over something because it makes you feel like embarrassed. I think that's what makes life like flavorful is having passions for things.
Existing last week, I was this close to the deep end, okay? I put on a frolicky colonial skirt, all right, by some medieval brand, and I instantly felt rejuvenated.
Yes.
And I was frolicking around the city. And that was our thing. We were like, we're not going home. And Lennon was like, I am moving here. I am moving to Boston. And we've been to Boston many a times, but we've never been to the little theater district. And we were like, oh, where should we go to our waiter? And he was like, oh, they have like this cool, like, it's like kid friendly because it's like in a hotel, like lobby, whatever. So we're walking around. And as we walk, we stumble into Chinatown. And first, my daughter's like, stop calling it Chinatown. And I'm like, that's literally what it's
literally
called.
The name. She's trying to like catch you on some bullshit.
She's trying to like PC me. Like she's like,
I just fucking took you to Hamilton.
I just took you to Hamilton in Trump's America. You're welcome. History has its eyes on us, okay?
We're all calling it Chinatown, okay?
Yeah. And that was one thing that the woman that was like smiling like a fool, I said to her, I said, Hamilton is her absolute favorite. And she looked at my daughter and she said, as it should be. Aww. And I was like, you're right. You're totally right. Because the message is there. But yeah, so my daughter's like accusing me of being like inappropriate. I'm like, this is Chinatown. That banner says 2025 Chinatown, like whatever. So then she's like, Mom, I've never been to a more beautiful place in my life. And I have to say, I am so guilty of like dining and dashing when it comes to Chinatown. Like the food is exquisite. The streets are always just like a little bit cleaner than everywhere else. in Boston,
Uh-huh.
and I appreciate it for that. But we were strolling down the streets of Chinatown at 9:30 at night. Once again, no undertones of violence.
What?
Families out, no drunk people hitting pens into my family's faces on the curbs.
In an immigrant heavy location? None?
It was wild, you know, like it was peaceful and nice and calm, and I enjoyed myself.
Stop
So
it.
as we're walking around, we're and the restaurant's truly like, it looked like it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon at 9:30. We were this close to getting dumplings. Like, we were like, do we get dumplings? And my husband was like, there's something about a 10 p.m. dumpling that I just don't feel like is gonna make us feel good in the morning. And I was like, fair.
That's
But we
such a
did.
bad thing to say, you know?
But my daughter wanted mooncakes, and she wanted to go shopping. And the first store we went into, I believe, was called Tao, which I could be pronouncing that incorrectly. It was Tao. And we walked in, and it was the TikTok shop IRL. It was. The lights.
A scary place for a mom's Debbie card.
It was the white background of the website everywhere. Fluorescent lighting, the cutest shit you've ever seen, skincare galore, and like everyone was just being so sweet to Len. They were helping her get baskets. She was just like, we were putting the Hello Kitty eye masks in the cart, the lip stains, you've seen them. Like,
I've seen them. I'm curious about them.
Piling on. We're piling on. And then my husband's like, there's a toy store around the corner. And we were like, say less.
Put
So
down
then
the
we go
mask.
around the corner, and it is like Crybabies, La Boo Boos, Baby Nancy, I believe her name is, Sailor Moon, Spy Family, which is one of our newest little intros of anime that I'm trying to, and then anime does this weird shit where they have like Stitch, and they have like what's the bunny's name, like Kimmy or
You're asking me.
Bimmy. I don't know. There's a bunny that's cute. There's all kinds of cute shit. And once again, I'm like, throw it all in the cart. And you know, like everybody
you're living in a land.
in the store is helpful, polite. There is nowhere is there like any fucking weird paraphernalia, like Boston t-shirts with like JD Vance and a heart, you know, like none of that. None of that is here.
Not a one.
But there was one bit that we were doing all around Boston. And it was like a people on the street thing, and we were pretending to we have a tiny microphone, but we never bring it anywhere for whatever reason. And we were pretending to have a tiny microphone, and we were like, hello, are you interested in joining the first all pigeon cast of Hamilton? And we were just like approaching the pigeon. Because I was like, imagine an all pigeon cast of Hamilton. It
Gorgeous.
writes itself, you know,
Gorgeous.
like they want a revolution, you know?
They want a revolution.
And the pigeons have a bad rap in this city.
By the way, that little breakdown, which obviously I don't have memorized yet, but I'm unwell about it. You know it, I'm sure. The like when she comes out and she's like, "We hold these la la la
yes.
revolution."
I want a revolution. I want a revelation.
Yeah. Luke looked at me and Luke was like, "You're obsessed." I was like, "I'm obsessed."
Lennon knows that song top to bottom. That's why I'm like,
I will soon. Like I will soon.
I'm like, but you can't read for 15 minutes a night, you know?
Honestly, like on the reading log, it's like she just sang Hamilton for 3 hours. What do you want me to say?
I'm like, my daughter knows what Thomas Jefferson did for all of the 1780s. So, like, I'm sorry that she didn't read Dogman tonight.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that we skipped on Captain Underpants tonight. But yeah, so we're walking around Chinatown. She's like, I'm moving here. And I was like, honestly, Len, like I can see college Len at Berkeley or Emerson taking some kind of weird technological music that I have no idea about, and me just like meeting her on the Green Line to have some bao buns. Like I was just like, I was seeing the whole thing crystal clear, you know, catching a show on a Sunday. And it was really cool to see her in her element. And Chinatown's her new Disney World. Like, she literally...
I love that.
She bought a body wash, and it's got Miffy. Miffy is his name. He's like a cute little white bunny, and he's adorable.
Miffy?
Literally, the Asian packaging they had me at hello with a lot of their shit. Like, I don't care what's
Miffy?
inside the bottle. I don't need, it's probably healthier than whatever the fuck's in a chicken nugget. I'm buying it.
Is
Miffy.
this Miffy?
Yes. Yes. So we bought body wash. She goes, Mom, I'm going to eventually need more. And I was like, we bought it like 2 days ago. It's like 24 ounces.
This is Miffy?
Yes. Yes. So
Emo
we have
Miffy?
Miffy Candy Apple body wash, which we did after some Google
Oh
translation.
my god, Panic at the Disco Miffy. Oh, I chime.
And then literally there was like these Miffy, like, because everything you buy in anime world, in
Sailor Moon
Hawaii
Miffy.
world, everything you buy is a fucking blind bag. Like, you don't get to pick anything. They're like, you want a lip gloss? It's a blind bag. I'm like, I'd really like my shade,
You're
you
like,
know?
I know. You're like, but I just really wanted that nude, but okay.
Like, no,
Lime green it is.
buy 16 more, maybe. I don't know. So we're buying these blind bags, and the young, very cool girl next to me who's dressed like a schoolgirl,
God,
you know,
I'm learning so much.
as she should. Penny literally looked at me and he was like, I should have listened more to Dragon Ball Z than I would have felt more prepared for this moment of my life. So she looks to me and she goes, that's a phone stand. I'm like, it's a blind bag phone stand? Like, you don't even get to pick your phone stand. But it was so fucking cute.
It
So
takes
now we're
away
like,
the element of deciding.
so now we're heading back to the hotel, and like Lennon is doing that one last time. You know, like she wants to do everything on the way back one more time.
Of
And
course.
she looks at me and she's like, Mom, this was the best day ever. And I'm like, anytime you say that to me, it is the best day ever for me. And we slept overnight. We took it easy the next day. We went to the Friendly Toast, which is like a very cool, trendy restaurant in Boston. It's over near like, I feel like it's over near Emerson. It's like over near like the schools and the theater area. And they have a Noah Khan breakfast menu. Okay. And
Only in New England.
only in New England could you go somewhere and it have stick season hash, you know? And then
I'm
them
never
up
moving.
and then them up the ante, right? I'm putting in my braids, I'm leaving on my sweatpants, and I'm
Sit this ass down in this chair.
yeah,
It's
you're not gonna
moving.
trick me with your low interest
Doesn't
rates,
matter.
Florida. I
It
don't give a
doesn't
shit.
matter.
I don't give a shit
Florida, come
how.
here. I'm not going there.
So I'm leaving in my Noah Khan braids and I'm ordering my stick season hash. But the proceeds when you ordered went to his busy head project. Is that
Yeah.
what it's called?
Yes,
They
for
went to
mental
that
health.
foundation. So it
I
was
love
super
him.
cool.
Oh my
And
god, which when you're done, you just made me think of a little something in my thinker.
but the whole trip was 10 out of 10. And I just feel like you want to wait for your kids to get older. You want to say, like, they're not going to remember this. They're not going to,
Mhm.
this isn't, you know, this might not be their thing forever. But as my kids become this school age during a time where the world is kind of I literally told you in a voice message today, I'm like, when do we just stop sending the kids to school? Like, when do
Yeah.
we worry that Daddy Donald's not going to give them back? Like, I'm
Yeah.
just like, I want to know.
I just want to mark it on my calendar so I can
Yeah, like,
beg for time off.
when does the purge bell go off? Like,
Any
Halloween,
minute.
before Halloween, after Halloween. Like, Halloween's going to be confusing for me.
It
there's
is.
so
Because you're like,
much.
is this just your look? Is this just your look, or are you doing a bit?
Yeah,
Do
like,
you want candy?
I already feel very strongly that we don't be Labubu's for Halloween, because I do feel like the undertone of violence will be high if everyone's being like knife-wielding Labubu's in this
Yeah,
climate.
that couldn't be good for us.
It's not going to be good for anyone. But I feel like as the world gives me less and less razzle dazzle in the common people package, I am upping the ante in motherhood. I am creating the fucking magic. So if I have to create my own fucking national anthem, I will, Donald. Don't fucking make me.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
If I can handle fucking Santa, the Easter Bunny, fucking the Tooth Fairy, I can
Literally, what
fucking
can't I do?
handle a bald eagle and an American flag, all right? So I will write how my child sees this world because she will go into this world and be young, scrappy, and hungry. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and I feel like Dear Theodosia, I don't know if that song has hit you in the feels the way that it hits
I need to listen to
me.
it all again, truly, to really, like, take them all in.
I have one request for America. So there is a Hamilton mixtape. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's basically like celebrities like Chance the Rapper, Regina Spektor. They did covers of Hamilton songs.
Okay.
My one request, Chance the Rapper did a beautiful job, but I would really like for Macklemore to do Dear Theodosia for me, personally.
You're speaking directly.
I'm speaking directly to Macklemore and his people.
Mm.
If he could take his song Wednesday Morning and mash it into Dear Theodosia, it would be seamless. Because there is a line in there that's like, you will come of age with our young nation. And like, I feel like our generation felt like we were doing that. And we spoke to this when we were angry last week. And I'm not angry anymore. I'm more just like, fuck it. I'll do it this myself. You know, like... I'll do Earth myself, you know?
Exactly. I feel that.
But I do feel like we're doing that again. Like these kids are coming to age during a time that's fucking messy. And like during a time that's definitely going to be on the Doppler of history, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we are fighting for them. And we're trying to make it right for them. And like that song to me, just like it resonates so deep in my chest, and to see it done live in like such a beautiful way. It was done the same way within the chairs, you know, where they're
I'm
just
so
side by
excited to
side.
rewatch it all because I took in a lot of it, but also I was watching it in parts, and sometimes things can get lost when you're watching it in parts. But I was just looking through my notes, and there was one, and I was like, that wedding scene was crazy. Like I just, I
That
didn't
is
take
the part.
but the
That is
rewind,
the
you know,
yes. And she's like the 3 reasons, and they're doing like the whole and the turning stage, and you're like,
craziness,
how, and like I feel like
craziness.
as a theater girly, and I mean you're a theater mom now, so like
Damn.
you look for, you know, when you look for the little blips on stage and how they handled them because they're important. You know, there's certain things that, especially a colonial play in Boston, when they made references to Boston, there was definitely like these longer pauses because they knew
Like
they
an
were going to be like,
energy.
woo,
Yes.
you know. But
Yes.
like there was one moment where they said, immigrants, we get the job done. And there, the fucking state, the whole place erupted because like, yes, they fucking do. You know, like,
And that's why we're never moving.
and that's why we're never moving. But it just feels like you can listen to this soundtrack, because I do constantly.
Yes,
And
I actually put it
yell
on
these
today
lyrics.
earlier because I just wanted to like refresh in myself at like what happened in the beginning. And the cool thing, obviously, of listening to the soundtrack is you're just listening to the play, you know,
In real time.
essentially in real time. So I love that about it so much because I kind of like to do stuff like that regardless.
Yes, and we came home with only more Hamilton fuel in our tank.
I love it. I could tell when Len came into theater today with her new like Hamilton like tote bag. She was a new girl. She was a woman.
Well, my daughter, I feel as though we've done this for our children, that we don't give them a normal experience, right? Like and my parents did that for me. Like my first concert was Britney Spears and NSYNC, right? I went in a stretch limo, and my mom got me and my cousin Andrea blow up inflatable bags, you know the ones, pink and green, with like fucking weird bendy straws and glow sticks and shirts, and like it was a fucking swag bag. It was my VMAs.
Mine
you know,
was
like
Aaron Carter, I think, in a limo, or I did see Britney Spears. One of them was also in a limo for no reason other than that.
Get that from my mother, but I don't get neat packing from my mother. So I made my daughter a swag bag. I got her like, I knew we were going to the steampunk restaurant, so I got her like a Hamilton activity book, you know, like a really fucking niche Etsy purchase. And then like a pin and a shirt, because I looked it up and they don't have children's shirts at the Broadway merch station. So I already got her a shirt on what is it called? The color. What's the ones that we love? The shirts that we love. There's a certain shirt we love.
I know what you mean, but I don't have a name right now.
Yeah, watercolors or something like that. One of those shirts. And I put the swag bag together. Great at that. Not great at packing. I panic as we're about to leave. We're dropping off my child. We've asked ChatGPT how long it's going to take us to get to Boston in a reasonable time frame. And I'm like, shit, the swag bag. How will she know I love her? My
Did
husband.
you leave it at home?
No, because I married the right man. You know, I married a man. I'm sorry.
He packed the bag.
Married a man. I'm sorry, everyone.
Let's start off with our grievances.
I married a man, you know, just like they tell you not to. But
it happened to us both.
I married a special one, you know. There was this thing that was like my humble brag is that I was so repulsed by men that the cutest patootie found me. And I feel like that's what happened. I was like, fuck dudes. And then this one really hard exterior hermit crab man came up to me and he was like, no, don't.
You were like, accept that one. I'll let that one pinch me.
Roll your underwear into wontons forever. And he does. That man did the hottest thing. He was like, it's in the bag. It's in the bag and it's in a bag because he puts everything in gallon. Like he does that thing that you do where you guys suck the air out of everything so that it's smaller, you know, just in case they beam us up to space.
That makes me feel something.
He wants to make sure that my underwear could withstand being teleported up, beamed up.
She's not going out without her undies, okay?
You know, he wants to make sure that the G-force doesn't shatter my underpants.
Of course.
So he powders them when he packs them. And we're at a Cumberland's. And he's like, I've got the bag. And I handed her the bag and she was like, thank you. Because she knew she was entitled to it. But yeah,
of course.
We were at the merch station buying everything. And I can't wait. I feel like we should have a watch party of all of us watching it together.
Yes.
Now that you know
I was thinking the same thing. Like, I feel like it would be fun now to watch it together. I'll introduce Nora so that she has some knowledge because I kind of had to go fast speed without her.
Yeah.
And then I think we should have a girls Hamilton and we'll all dress. We'll all dress in full garb.
And that actor that plays Lawrence in the original Hamilton.
Yes.
He just does something for me. I don't really know what it is, but
yeah, honestly, when he had to be a play in the ponytail for whatever reason.
So the touring Broadway, he brought the same like smolder for just the same hot. I don't know.
They did it for you.
Here he is. Does it for me. Had the low pony, and then they bring him out as the baby every time, and I'm like. You're really just thrown off by it. You're like, I was so into John Lawrence.
I was so glad you gave me that heads up because they did it also with Lafayette, right? Like all of a sudden.
And it's very common in like a smaller Broadway show to reuse somebody that's not going to come back because you're. But John Lawrence died.
It was a bit of a
Those
scare.
People died, and then their new
It was a bit of a jump scare, though, Lauren.
I know. And then then you get it because Philip grows up very quickly, so then you get that he's him. But you're like, he can't be a fucking 9-year-old at a fucking thing now.
And I mourned him. And now he's just
Anthony
back and
Ramos,
reincarnated. He's also in Twisters, fun fact.
And he's in so the role that he plays and She's Gotta Have It is like this wicked, quirky dude that would definitely try to pick you up at a bodega, and I would let him.
And you're into him in every lifetime.
I would like eat Korean barbecue chicken off of him probably. But I'm a married woman.
She's a married woman to a lovely wonton underwear folding man.
But I do love John Lawrence. I'm hot for John Lawrence as far as history goes.
And I get it more now.
You spoke my language, and I'm going to watch the summer I Turned Pretty.
You better.
But I'm only probably going to watch that last episode.
At least the last two.
But I'm not going to watch Stranger Things. Nobody can make me.
I literally never asked Choo Choo, but I do like it. But like they lost me a little at the end. I have something to say. It's I guess also on the topic of plays. Is this play
Say
about
it.
me right now? Because
It's all about us.
listen, by the time this episode comes out, I'll be in a better place because Taylor's new album will have come out. So like
Yes.
I'm gonna be fully delving into that, obviously. You know, like
I heard that we
that's
have to
part
switch
one.
our whole personalities because this is like a happy album during
That's the
which
thing.
season?
That's the thing. We have to. So I'm at forever a folklore girly, and I think there's a lot of overlap. There's angst in Tortured Poets department also, but I hope that I know Taylor enough to know that she will bring happiness, but she will also bring something dark in there because she can never just be fully happy because she's a poet. Like
I hope
she's
she brings doom.
she's always going to have some chaotic energy there. So I'm
Yeah.
obviously excited. I have to shift gears out of my, black and white or sepia toned personality, but I'll be a showgirl, I guess. Like I'll fucking be a showgirl.
I was born for
The
this.
second thing that this play is about me is that MGK just went out on the internet and he said, "Hey, guess what, everybody? Tickets to My Downfall, which was the album that made me fall in love with this man, Colson Baker.
Yes.
The album, 5 unreleased songs
I
coming.
know. I saw that.
That's part 2.
Because it just had a birthday, right? Because he
5
wrote
years.
that one with my bebe.
With
Travis
our
Barker.
husbands did a passion project together,
They
and it
did.
was called Tickets to My Downfall. Third reason this play is about me. Noah
There's
Khan
more
is
reason.
finally saying that his new album is being produced and coming out because he's been playing
Thank
unreleased songs.
God.
Because
That
we need
man-
that. We need that.
He's been mooching off of TikTok for too long.
No. Get back to
He
work.
didn't have to sell a single fucking water bottle.
Get back to work. Make me cry.
If
Damn
he doesn't
it.
make me cry. I made like an off-color joke on TikTok and I was dragged through the mud about like, and then
Who
the
cares?
fucking Noah Khan police came for
In
me
this-
and they were like, he's always been happy. And I'm like, I beg
Like,
to
it's a
differ.
fucking bet. Like,
I
and
beg
also,
to differ.
and also, like, just fuck off. Like, if
But I
you
need
can't in
some
this
sad-
administration take a joke,
Yeah, whatever joke I decide to throw at you, they're all
a lot of
appropriate
bases
now.
for me. Like, that's my Holy Spirit. Those 3. That's
The
the.
Trinity. That's the Trinity. It opens the portal.
And
to
I've
get
been
the
really
fuck out of
scared
here.
lately about the imminent future. So this gives me hope. I will just be watching Hamilton and listening to Taylor Swift, and that's just gonna be okay. Thumbs
Oh.
down. That was fucking rude, Nana. That was.
I was the ghost of half of Donald Trump because he's half dead, I think.
And here's my. And here's my guess, okay, for the album that we don't know anything about yet. There's no singles out. Life of a Showgirl. It's like I think it's gonna be poppy, but I think it's gonna
this
be
is
like
a prediction.
this is a prediction. I think it's also gonna be like I fucking don't get a break. Like I go hard just to make everybody happy, and I'm
so
run
I
down.
I hope that this is like her like Haley Williams, like her like Pink era where she's just like a little bit like like I don't give a fuck.
Doesn't
like
give a
little
fuck what she says.
alternative, like I hope she's a little.
Well, have you looked at the track list because it's
No.
promising? Like one of the
Of
big
course
ones
I
that's
haven't.
coming out, I believe. There's a video coming out and it's all about the making of. It's called The Fate of Ophelia, which it kind of mimics. It's a painting and it kind of mimics her album art for it because Taylor loves to leave a little game, a little clue. Like she's very into an Easter egg or like
Yes.
a number drop. The Fate of Ophelia. Let me pull it up.
Is that the one where she's in the water?
That's the one where she's in the water. So the Fate of Ophelia references Ophelia's tragic drowning in Shakespeare's Hamlet, symbolizing the destructive effects of societal pressure, grief, and madness on an innocent woman. So just in that right there, you're like, it might be like a bunch of like kind of poppy sounding songs, but she has a way of having that like dichotomy where it's like you're dancing to it, but on the inside you're like, I'm kind of sad.
Well, that's the whole thing because like I am happily married, right? Like in this day and age, I'm just
What a
that's my
flex.
person. We are paired up. We're like penguins. We exchange rocks, and that's that. We're
Yes.
gonna otter together forever. But I'm a girl's girl, and I love a breakup song because I'm not mad
Yeah.
at him But I'm mad at somebody.
I'm at somebody's, man.
I'm mad
I
at
can
everybody
guarantee you.
else. You know, like, I'm mad at the fucking dude driving like a douchebag in front of me. Like, I'm mad
Just
at
because
the
I'm not
government.
mad at my
I'm mad at,
husband
you know?
doesn't mean I'm not mad at somebody's man. That I promise. I promise at any
Yeah.
given point in time I'm mad at a man.
So I still want that angst to come through.
Me
Because I
too.
can't just have happy pop songs. I'm in my
No.
mid-30s, you know?
So that's
like,
my
life
prediction.
isn't rainbows for this.
I think it's gonna have the angst in it, but I think it's gonna be more like fun songs to dance to rather than more like piano ballads. I mean, she's gonna have to have something on there that's piano-y, but that's what I'm feeling. It's gonna be a
Well, I
little
love
bit of
that. I love that, and I'm excited. And
Yeah, me
honestly,
too.
my kids have not really been listening to anything
My
but
shirt
K-pop
shoulders.
Demon Hunters or Hamilton. So like I literally just got to work in Sweet Coraline by MGK. Like that's the
You're like-
first thing.
You're like,
if
cool
it
song.
plays
Listen to
it-
it.
if it plays ever so quickly between Steve's Lava Chicken and and wait for it.
Then you're okay.
Then I'm okay. Then they're like, Sweet Coraline. And then like Golden will fade in and then everything's fine. But like, I'm like, maybe I'll get to listen to Taylor Swift. Maybe I won't, you know?
No,
So
I'll find it just the way that I made your kids like cats. I'll make sure that they learn the fate of Ophelia.
Perfect. Thank you.
So yeah, that's all I have to say for today.
Me too. We came, we saw, and we potted.
Love you, Rudies. I'm trying to
Love
do the
you
little
guys.
kid heart. I forgot it.
That was your Nana.
Love you,
See?
Nana.
The thumbs down was not your Nana.
That wasn't my. That was somebody else's Nana.
I don't know what you pay for your manicure that emojis come out of it, but I know
Oh.
what I'm paying for mine.
Do you get that TikTok ad where it's like you rub your fingers together and smoke comes out? I'm like, my kid needs that.
I saved like $100 by not bringing my kid to the nail salon last
Get
weekend.
your skills in check so that
My
you on
kid
the
comes
road.
like there's like 3 women around her with like they're checking if she's an autumn or a spring and they're getting the magnets out for her nails. They're like kids manicure. I'm like
cat eye.
I'm like this
But
doesn't
the
feel like
fact
a
that
kid's
my
manicure.
8-year-old can request a cat eye is something that I have. That's the cross I have to bear. I guess I'll end on that note then. Our kids know Hamilton and a cat eye manicure.
Yeah,
Amen.
that generation will never be the same.
No.